Before we begin, please imagine the bell notification is on and you're subscribed to Hannah Stories. I didn't expect anything from my grandfather's will. That's not humility, that's history. By the time people reach billionaire status, they usually stop seeing grandchildren as people. We become background noise at holidays, polite smiles and nods across a long table. My grandfather was no different, except he noticed things quietly, without praise. When the lawyer read the will, my father sat straighter with every paragraph: properties, accounts, art holdings that made the room feel smaller. When my name came up, the lawyer paused. "A single property," he said, and sued a thin folder toward me. My father laughed before the sentence finished. "A garage," the lawyer added. The laugh turned into something sharper. "That's fitting," my dad said. He didn't look at me. He didn't need to. "You're nothing." At least he was honest. No one corrected him. I didn't argue. I signed, I left. The garage sat at the edge of an old industrial block my grandfather had owned decades ago and never redeveloped. Corrugated metal, rusted hinges, a door that sagged like it was tired of holding itself together. The kind of place developers drove past without slowing down. I told myself I'd just look inside and leave, but when evening came, I stayed. I didn't want to go back to my apartment. I didn't want to hear my father's voice replaying in my head, confident and final. I decided to spend the night, not to prove anything, just to sit with the fact that this was all I had been given. The lock opened easier than I expected. Inside, the air smelled like oil and cold concrete. One bare bulb hung from the ceiling, already switched on. That surprised me. Power costs money. Someone had kept it active. The space wasn't empty, not full either, but intentional. Workbenches along the wall, tools arranged not neatly but consistently. The same wrench always returned to the same hook. Boxes labeled in my grandfather's handwriting, dates, notes I didn't yet understand. This wasn't abandonment, it was maintenance. I stood there longer than I should have, waiting for some dramatic realization that never came. No hidden car, no vault, just a quiet pressure in my chest I couldn't name. I slept on a folding chair, wrapped in my jacket. Poorly. Morning light came through the high windows, revealing things I missed at night. Fresh oil under one machine, recently replaced filters, a calendar on the wall with the current month circled. Someone had been here last week. By mid-morning, I was sweeping, not because I had a plan, because standing still felt worse. Dust moved differently when the place was clean. The garage felt less like a joke and more like a responsibility I hadn't agreed to, but couldn't ignore. Around noon, a sedan pulled up outside. A woman stepped out. Late 40s, neutral suit, no hurry. "Are you the owner?" she asked. "I guess," I said. She nodded like that answer was sufficient. "I'm from the Municipal Compliance Office. I'm also the executor's secondary contact." That got my attention. She handed me documents. No drama, just facts. The garage was part of a conditional trust. My grandfather hadn't left me money, he'd left me control if I met specific requirements. The property sat on land rezoned for mixed-use development, not valuable yet, but positioned. Any sale, lease, or redevelopment required the trustee's approval for 3 years, unless the current holder operated the garage as an active business in compliance for 12 consecutive months. Then full control transferred. No inheritance tax loophole, no sentimental clause, just work. "You're free to walk away," she said. "If you do, the property reverts to the family holding company, my father's company." I looked around the garage again, the tools, the calendar, the quiet expectation my grandfather had never spoken aloud. "I won't walk away," I said. She marked something on her clipboard, "Then I'll see you in 30 days. She left, the sedan disappeared, the street went quiet again. I didn't call my father. I stayed. The first weeks were humiliating in small ways, learning what I didn't know, making mistakes no one clapped for, fixing machines that fought back, filing permits, answering inspectors with "I'll correct that" instead of excuses. My grandfather never showed me how to do any of this. He just made sure everything I needed was there. My father showed up unannounced 2 months in. He stood in the doorway like he was visiting a museum exhibit he didn't respect. So this is the plan? Playing mechanic? I wiped my hands. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain. He waited for more. When none came, he scoffed. You know you can't keep this. You don't have the leverage. I looked past him at the street, at the sign I'd finally mounted with the garage's name, my grandfather's name, unchanged. I'm not trying to keep it forever, I said, just long enough. That confused him. Confusion irritated him. He left. The authority intervention came quietly, exactly when the paperwork said it would. A city notice, a development inquiry, interest from a logistics firm that wanted short-term leases in underused zones. The trust transferred control on schedule. No ceremony, no audience. My father found out through his legal team, not me. When he called, his voice was different, careful, not apologetic, measuring. You should have told me, he said. I thought about correcting him. I didn't. I'm busy, I said instead. We don't talk much now. Not because of anger, because the space between us finally has weight. The garage still isn't impressive. It's functional, demanding, honest. Some days I resent it. Some days I'm grateful my grandfather didn't pretend love was enough. He gave me something harder, something that required me to show up even when no one was watching. And somehow that was